Patience is the greatest virtue of a conqueror. For years, we've been hiding in the shadows, observing the city and biding our time. When dawn breaks tomorrow, the city will awaken to new rulers. Tonight, the Foot Clan emerges. Tonight, the war begins.
We've just been privy to a bit of turtle power, I guess, here with Activision and Platinum Games to learn more about Mutants in Manhattan, a game that, we've heard rumblings of it for quite some time, finally getting to sort of get our hands on it ourselves. And if you will, first sort of explain what sort of turtles this is and what you've pulled from in terms of the turtle fiction.
Sure. I can field that one. Yeah. So there were some rumblings about it probably a little earlier than we had anticipated, but it seemed everyone was excited about it, so that was really cool. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutants in Manhattan is third-person action brawler. In terms of universe, Platinum Games pulled from a lot of places, but they really referenced the original Eastman and Laird comics, as well as the original TV show, the IDW comic book series, and also some of the more recent Nick 3D versions of the TV show as well. And so kind of took all the stuff that they really liked and put them all in one place and added their own unique Platinum Games spin on it. So
it really feels like a perfect fit, Turtles and Platinum Games. What would you say of that?
So he agrees, and he also thinks it was a great opportunity for them to show that they can do more than just crazy. Well, they can do crazy stuff and also not necessarily always have it be violent. In fact, in this game, they actually put a lot of effort into the humor of the game, and they think that it's kind of show people that they're able to do that angle as well. So
I think there's one very interesting game design aspect here, because this sort of game you do tend to play it over and over, and you play it online with friends, and the way you've decided to sort of insert lasting appeal or replayability into it is very interesting. Can you tell us, flesh that out for us?
Sure. You're talking about the way that the stages work, or yeah. So the stages are actually designed in an interesting way in that they have randomized events. So there's a large pool of events that can possibly occur. As you start the stage, they're going to be relatively easy, and you don't exactly know what they're going to be. So every time you play through, it's going to be different. But as you succeed and as you get through it, they get increasingly more difficult up until the boss battle. So the entire stage, the stages themselves are actually designed as a very large lead up for fighting the boss. So the better you do in the stage, the more advantages you'll have going into the boss battle. So it's kind of an arcadey feel, actually. The stages are all named specifically after bosses, not after locations, and it kind of gives you that idea where you've always got the boss in mind as you're fighting.
But it is interesting because when you hear there's a new Turtle game, you kind of think, oh, it's going to be a walk and brawl. But this sort of opens up that structure to something that we really haven't seen before.
So, well, the reason why they ended up doing it this way is one of their key goals for the game was to allow players to kind of feel like they are the Turtles, where they're going around, they're running around the city and stopping crazy stuff from happening, or stopping crimes from happening, whatever it may be. But in the more traditional format that they'd have, where you go somewhere, you fight some guys, and then you move forward, couldn't really do that. They really wanted you to more freely be able to run around New York and have that feel to the gameplay, so that's why they ended up making the design decisions that they did.
It's obviously cooperative is in focus here, because the fiction just lends itself perfectly to a co-op game. Could you tell us a little bit about how you've sort of made synergies between different attacks and different characters and how that sort of works?
Sure. I can give you some examples for sure. So each turtle kind of has their own signature ability, and those can make a huge difference in battle, and they are focused on creating teamwork. So a good example, probably one of the best examples, is Michelangelo's signature move is called Cheerleader, and he actually grabs pom-poms and cheers for the team. It's hilarious, but it's actually incredibly powerful too. So what it does is it instantly refreshes the entire team's cooldowns. So your whole team can do a whole bunch of cool moves, do a ton of damage, and then he can use it immediately and then all of a sudden you can do it again. And so if you communicate that well, you can use that really efficiently, and it can really lead to success in really tough battles. Other examples, Donatello actually has an ability to revive all teammates instantly, and also heal them. And then the other two turtles, actually, Raph and Leo, they have primarily damage-based ones. Leo can slow down time for all the players and allow everyone to get a ton of damage in. And then Raph actually can go stealth and not be detectable and do a huge amount of damage in a very short period of time. So all those together can lead to some pretty crazy stuff. And then there's a huge pool of abilities, all that are designed around that idea of working together and kind of communicating to make the most of them.
I think the art style is very interesting as well. Could you tell us what's gone into sort of the visual design of this and what your aims were with that?
So, they looked through all of TMNT history. There's like 30 years of it. And they really felt that the original TV show and around that era did a great job of expressing like the fact that these guys are they're turtles, yes, but they're also teenagers and they kind of act like teenagers. They're also ninjas, and that's just awesome. And they also have a lot of humor injected into like a lot of different moments, and it works really well. They love that, but they also wanted, they're saying, if you just go with that, it was from a while ago, and it may not quite hold up visually. So they also took a lot of inspiration from specifically Matthias Santaluco, who actually did this art right behind us, and they took some of the elements of the original stuff and mixed it with his more modern kind of really cool art, and kind of used those two as inspiration, and then came up with their own take on it.
Very cool. If you'd enlighten us a little bit on release plans, platforms, release dates, what's in line for it?
Sure. So it's coming to PS4, PS3, Xbox One, 360, and Steam on May 24th.
All right, that's soon. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.